This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. When you say the word spa, right away, you get a feeling of, oh, this is going to be good. There's so many different services there. Many of us go for a massage and maybe some, other treatments, but there are other treatments at this particular spa in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, that a lot of people might not realize. So we're going to dig into that today. Things like red light therapy and so much more, energy healing. She's the woman behind it. She's our professional of the year. Paula Biondo is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Happy Monday.
Yeah. Before a holiday week.
Mm-hmm.
So red light therapy, it's been around for years. I'm hearing more and more about it recently, and I don't know why it's popping up. I guess more people are open to maybe trying different treatments. Can we start on red light therapy?
Sure. So
what does it do?
So it helps with chronic. Well, the one we have has different color lights. But the red light can work with chronic pain. It also can work with neuropathy on the feet. And we use it on facials with our microcurrent facial to reduce fine lines on the skin. So
the neuropathy, I have a friend who deals with that. I don't even think he's aware that red light therapy can support that.
Well, certain ones, the one we have does.
What's going on when you do red light therapy? And maybe we'll pick a couple of challenges that somebody might have and then how it supports that.
Right. So it works on the molecule level. So it changes the composition on the molecule level. So you really don't see it. It's just something that hits energetically. Yeah, it's very fascinating. But I notice when I work on someone's back, and if I put the red light on it first, and then I go in there, I can get in deeper faster because the red light helps to loosen it up.
Wow. I wasn't even aware of that. And I've been hearing, for skin, best description dissolves away fine lines and things like that. Let's say somebody comes to you for that. They just want to improve their complexion. Maybe they don't want to do Botox fillers and things like that. How many sessions would you need to really see some benefits? And everybody's different. I get that. But what do you think?
So it depends how deep the wrinkles are. So I had some lines around my eyes. So I always try the items first before I put them on, at my spa to see how well they work.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a company called Richway International, and they also do our infrared light, which we can talk about that too. And so they have a serum and a mask that we use with the red light. So you shouldn't just put the red light on without something on your skin. So we have a collagen hyaluronic serum that we apply to the face. We do a full facial. We wash, we exfoliate. Then we put the serum on and we let the person lay there with the red light for 10 or 15 minutes. And then we add a microcurrent mask. So a microcurrent mask stimulates the collagen underneath the skin and on top of the skin. And we're adding collagen on top because the mask is moist. It has the collagen and the hyaluronic acid in it. But we're also stimulating it underneath. So it's a very healthy way of increasing collagen in the skin. And then we do a really blast of all the light, all the colors, because our red light therapy has red, yellow, green, and blue. And so we do this intense flashing of the light to penetrate it faster.
Wow. So many skin treatments, many of them work where you are actually, I'm going to loosely put this, damaging the skin. And then when it regenerates, heals, then you see the change.
Okay, so we don't do that. We don't do that. First of all, we use pure organic product because we're a wellness spa. So we don't do anything that has chemicals, no perfumes. Okay. So this product is made in Colorado. It's called iSun, iSun. And it was developed by a woman. And it's all pure organic. They squeeze the juice out of the plants. And she even has rainforest rainwater in it. And so this product, this skincare line, doesn't just lay on top of your face. It penetrates through the dermis. So the exfoliation really clears the skin. Exfoliation takes care of like blackheads and dry skin. So it's not just laying on top. A lot of the products just lay on your face and you wipe it off. This product line actually penetrates through the dermis. So you actually see results in one treatment.
Would you see a change with that even if you didn't do red light therapy?
Yeah. But when it's not going to reduce the fine lines right away, but you'll be toned, texturized, your skin will be even. We have a brightening mask that really penetrates, 3/4 of the mask penetrates through your skin. And, there's no fragrance. It's lemon, lavender, coconut, cucumber, really nice aroma, but it's not perfumey. I'm allergic to perfume, so I can't use any perfume. So it's very uplifting. It's relaxing. And we use, a lot of hot towels in between on your face. If someone wants extractions, we can use the steam. But it is nice to use the red light therapy if you want to reduce fine lines and wrinkles.
Wow. All right. Let's pivot over to we're working on the face. Let's work on the feet. Reflexology. You do that there too, right?
We do. Yeah. So I used to do reflexology. I really don't do it anymore because I'm older and my hands,
Gotcha.
because it's really intense pressure on the fingers. So what it does is it opens up blockages through the feet. So all the meridian lines that run up the body, the energy wheels that run up the body, run up, through the feet, through the leg, through the hip, up to the head and the neck, or some of them just run up through the arm. And so it is very relaxing. We use warm towels too. And Lacey does the reflexology now, and she uses warm stones with it. So it's really nice because it's that nice warm feeling, which is very soothing. And then she'll press the points. So like behind the toes is like a sinus point. So if you press in that little groove spot behind all the toes, that helps relieve your sinuses. And then like the arches of your feet is your spine.
So is this similar to, yeah, is it like the meridians in acupuncture where you can pinpoint certain spots, similar to that?
Yes. Yeah, it's similar to that. Well, the acupuncture, works with needles. Mm-hmm. And you really shouldn't feel anything. With the acupressure too, okay, so everything is to get you in that relaxed state. And once you get in that relaxed state, you're kind of like in an altered state of consciousness. That's when you let go. And so your body heals on its own. So by letting go means that you're just, people don't realize that we hold everything. We get stiff, we clench our hands, we clench our teeth, we raise our shoulders. People are not realizing they're not in a relaxed state. So when you do these modalities, it puts you in that relaxed state. So this way your body can let go. And then, so by letting go, that means you're letting go of the trauma or the tightness. So you're healing. So you're actually participating in the healing process because you're able to let go.
Wow. I had no idea that's essentially what's going on there. So would you say that with, let's say, reflexology, it puts you in a relaxed state so that when somebody does put pressure on your foot, it can better address the areas that it's connected to, be it the sinuses, the back, whatever it might be?
Yeah. So the reflexology itself is going to put you in that relaxed state. We always do everything so it hurts so good. We don't do anything where, you can't stand the pain, because that's not what we're about. You don't have to hurt somebody to make them feel better. So the best way to heal is hurt so good. So that means it feels nice, but you feel the pressure. And the thing with reflexology, you're going to hold it. You're not just going to touch it. You're going to hold the toes. It's also good for migraines. If people have migraines, that's one of the reasons why I got into massages, because when I lived in Lake Tahoe, there was a guy out there. He was a Hawaiian man, and I used to get migraines, and he used to squeeze my toes, and he helped get rid of my migraines. So, it's great for, because we never know where the source is, where the pain is coming from, unless we try different things.
I had no idea that that's what's going on there. Like you hear this term, or you pass by with one of those foot spas, and they got that diagram of what addresses.
Well, that's different. Okay, those foot spas, they don't really do reflexology.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
I mean,
licensed
some of
here.
them are good. I mean, they do a lot of pressure and stuff, but you're not really getting a true reflex, because they're like inexpensive. So you're not really getting, I
Right.
mean, we charge $225 for a reflexology because it's the energy we put into it.
And it's the real deal.
And plus, our tables are heated. It's relaxed. We have nice sheets. We have nice blankets. We
Oh,
have nice music. It smells nice in the spa.
oh, 100%. You're investing in the experience and the expertise of what's going on there, because it works.
Right.
Wow.
People walk in and they say, "Oh, it smells so nice in here. Oh, it's so relaxing. I have a fountain that has water. So, it's very soothing when you come in. It's very calming. We try to get you in that because a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't relax." That's the first thing out of their mouth. I can't relax. Well, if they keep reinforcing that with their brain, they're not going to be able to relax.
100%. And that's not going to foster healing either.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like having a block up, part of you wants the session and to feel better, but then the other part of you can't let go. And then you're not going to have really any kind of transformation there.
Yeah. I had this lady, she was told to come see me, well, she was told to get cranial. And so she found me and she said, I can't relax. I said, okay, well, first thing we're going to do is not reinforce that to your brain. We're going to say making a choice. Everything's a choice. So making a choice to relax. And she actually did go under. She was in altered state of consciousness, but she was so used to saying she can't relax that, it didn't really connect with her. And then
Mm.
she's like, well, I think I'm too high strung. I said, well, if you're willing to change, you can feel better, but if someone's going to fight and resist the whole time you're working on them, then you're not going to get results because it's like you're going against a dead wall.
I want to dig into cranial sacral therapy in a moment, but I want to
Mhm.
ask your thoughts on this, which is connected to what you just said.
Sure.
I heard over the weekend that, and I read this somewhere, what we think about becomes our reality. And
Right.
I've believed that for a while and just try to, uh, observe. But this kind of blew me away. And I'm now going to pay more attention to it. It typically takes 3 days for what you think to become. So, like, if you're saying, yeah, I can't relax, I can't relax. Well, you're not going to, 3 days will go by and then you definitely will not be relaxing. Or something you manifest could appear in 3 days. Why doesn't it? Hey, I want more money. I want a perfect partner, whatever it might be. Because you're not fully invested in the
Because you're
manifestation.
not the intention's not there. You have to have clear intention.
How do you define that?
So really believing in what you're saying. So if I say I want to have more abundance in my life, I have to believe that I can achieve more abundance in my life and I deserve more abundance in my life. But if I just say, oh, I want more abundance in my life, but I don't really believe it's going to happen, then it's not really a clear intention. But if I'm clear about, yes, I know I know I'm able to get more abundance. I'm ready to draw it towards me. I'm ready to work harder or do what it takes to get more abundance. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
You see the difference?
Totally. And feel that you deserve it and feel that
Right.
it's here or it's coming your way. The 3 day thing. Did you ever hear that?
I have not heard that.
That's curious. Because I know that we talked about energy
Why do
and
they come up
manifest.
with 3 days?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Why do they?
And I'm
I mean, if
trying to
you put it out there, then it will take if you put it out there, then it'll take 3 days.
right. So I guess we're going to pay attention to that. Let's see. Think about something today, and what shows up in 3 days from now.
I mean, it
Um,
might take more than 3 days. It just
it,
depends what you're asking for, too.
exactly. And I don't know why that rule was there, but it was somebody, and I'm
Hmm.
trying to think of his name. Um, I think he's connected to remember the secret?
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's him.
Well, maybe I'll learn something there. I never, it just when it shows up, it shows up. You just have to have a clear intention about it.
Right. Well, if I understand it, he said that it's when you manifest it, it typically takes 3 days for something to appear, but if we're not fully doing it and doing it the right way, it's not going to happen. And most of us don't. We don't
Well, are
even
we
know.
aware, do we even notice that it happened?
Well,
If you
there's a
don't
point
believe
too.
that, you might not even, it might just go right by you.
Exactly right. Yeah, if you're not paying attention to it, you're not open to it. There could be, abundance. There could be an opportunity that
Yeah.
pass right by you in 3 days, but you're not seeing it. You're not open to it. And again, we have so many things that we block and don't even know we're doing it because it's in our subconscious.
Like
You know,
Paul Newman, the actor Paul Newman, I heard him say a long time ago, because he was very handsome, right? And he said that people would judge him and say, well, he was a pretty face, so things went his way.
Mm,
And he said, no, I would see an opportunity when it came along and I didn't let it pass me by. And that always stuck with me,
interesting.
you know,
Yeah.
because it
Well,
is about awareness.
yes. And even signs from the universe, if you will, they could be all over. Maybe they are. But we're so wrapped up in our lives and our worlds and busy and, worrying about things. And
Well, until you're ready. We learn in cranial sacral. Hugh Mills says, until you're ready, you're not going to see it. Until you're ready, you're not going to learn. You have to be ready.
then there's that. And what's that? When the student is ready, that's when the teacher shows up,
Right.
you know? So cranial sacral therapy, we skimmed that
Yeah.
previously. Let's hit that up again. What exactly is it?
So it works with a wave of energy. There's a cranial wave that runs from your coccyx tail to the top of your head. It runs through the spine and through the neck and through the head. And it also works with the cerebral fluid, the blood, and the water that run. So a lot of times, if someone has an accident or some kind of trauma, and even if the spine shifts a hairline, just a hair, or they overplay sports or, overplay football or whatever, they might get a bulging disc because the fluid stuff's running up and down. So we try to get to the client before it gets to that point. When people have trauma, or whiplash or whatever, we try to get to them before that. Excuse me. So it's really just holding positions and waiting for the wave to stop moving again. It's very fascinating work.
This is deeper energetically than I ever realized. I always viewed the cranial sacral therapy was more of like a massage modality, but way more than that in terms of the energy. Like you feel the
If
wave.
someone has like hip pain, like lower back pain, you can do deep tissue on their hips, on the muscles, the three muscles, and then turn them over and hold their sacrum. So you can do, cranial sacral whip massage.
And you said before holding a position. So when you work with somebody, how do you know when you're there? And then how long do you have to hold that position for?
Well, I'm trained where to hold, what
Okay.
position. So like we hold the sacrum, which connects the hips, that flat plate. We actually we hold it with one of our hands. There's a couple of ways you can do it. And then you connect your heart with their heart energetically. So you're facing their heart. They're laying on the table, but you're facing their heart. And when you face their heart, it's like that organic connection because a lot of the emotions are held in the sacrum. So the person is able to, so then it starts bubbling. If it's really, really tight, there's no energy, it's stuck, right? And there's a lot of emotion there. So the longer you can hold it, 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes until you get it moving. And sometimes it just, you feel like a bubbling sensation. It might be going, lateral or cross or something. And we hold until the wave goes flex extension. And sometimes it doesn't do that in the first session because there's a lot of trauma there. But the person will feel better because they'll have some movement. Because the memory stays in the tissue and the bone. The brain puts it somewhere. So it's really fascinating work.
Wow. This is way deeper than I ever realized.
Mhm.
Again, I thought it was more of a sort of a massage modality. So
Mm.
you could be working with somebody, you detect something. You say you would hold that position for a
Mhm.
half hour?
Sure. So it's all about stillness. So I'm not going to move in my chair. I'm not going to move my hand. I'm going to play perfectly still. And I'll get in that meditative state with them. And they will go under. When I hold the sacrum, 99.9% of the people go under into alta state. So they get in that really lax state of consciousness. And then so the body starts releasing, and then the sacrum starts talking. The energy comes up.
Amazing. Like how this all
Last week I worked with this girl that wanted chakra balancing, and when I held her neck, I could tell she had whiplash, just because I've been doing it so long. I said, "Have you had any car accidents?" And she said, "Yeah, I've had several." And her neck, it's like no movement on her occipital ridge, nothing. It's like a rock in the back of her head. So I just stayed there for like 40 minutes because she really needed to get that moving. She needed that energy, the circulation and the energy to stop moving in the back of her head. Felt like a bowling ball, like a heavy bowling ball when I hold it.
This can be life-changing for a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm. I had this guy from Asheville. He's a drummer. And oh my God, he couldn't even move. He was locked. So I call him locked up. When you don't have full range of motion and part of your body's locked up. And he came in 3 times in 1 week.
Wow.
Before he would get, and he was getting relief at each session, but he needed more than 1 session. And so basically I just hold his neck and I did acupressure points. Hugh calls it windows to the sky. You hold different points on the neck and it releases the energy up and out.
So you can also do this. You also have a therapy for just the face as well, right?
Yeah. For the cranial, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hold different places on the face, like, by the template, we pull the forehead, we pull the sinus cavity, we hold the jaw. Actually, you can go in the mouth. If someone has tinnitus, which is the ringing in the ears, they're grinding their teeth a lot. So I'm going to give them exercise to do at home too, because I'm going to hold because usually the jaw shifts. So I could feel that the jaw has shifted, even if it's just a hairline. So you hold the teeth a certain way. You use gloves and you hold the teeth and the jaw can move back into place. It takes a couple of times though, but people will get relief.
This is the type of thing that the majority of us don't even know about, aren't even aware of.
More people are learning about it though.
Yeah.
People want relief. Especially since COVID happened, everybody's sitting so stiff. I mean, I know people that didn't go to the bathroom for like 8 hours, would sit in their chair and not even get up and go to the restroom. I'm like, you got to move your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
People's really stiff and tight.
And the older you get, the more you don't move, the more it is harder to move when you do move.
Right.
It's the same thing when you get out of bed.
Body moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the cranial sacral gives you a piece of inner feeling, the peaceful inner feeling peace that a lot of people don't have, right? So they go up the table and they have that inner peace feeling. They feel calm, relaxed, they feel safe. So even if they don't feel the relief in their head or their lower back, they have that inner peaceful feeling. And then I say, try to keep that with you as long as you can. Don't go out and hang around with people that aggravate you or, don't do anything you don't like. Or spend time alone for a couple hours because your body's still processing and still letting go. So you want to keep that inner peace, calm feeling with you as long as you can because your body is still healing.
Would you say, final question on this today, that cranial sacral therapy is a blend between energy healing and massage?
No, it's energy healing. It's not massage because I'm not rubbing you. I'm just holding positions.
Okay. But I had a vision of, when you're holding a position that you're hitting a pressure point, a meridian, while you're infusing the energy.
So you're holding the position on the neck, but you're not holding it. You're just touching it very softly so it can unwind out. So the stuck energy can unwind. It's called unwinding. I can actually feel the movement underneath releasing. And it feels like a circle of energy, like a little shh.
Gotcha. So really, would you say, we talk about Reiki and that's energy healing and you don't even have to touch the person you're working with. Right. But the difference here is you are touching them, but just lightly, I guess, maybe to send the energy in.
To release the energy out.
To release the energy out. Wow. Learning a lot today. This is like
stuck in there, whatever's stuck. Now you could be, receiving it, but first you have to open up the blockage.
Gotcha. It's amazing. I see this in a whole different way now.
Fascinating work. It was developed by an osteopath along 1945, I think. Sutherland. He said the body has to move like a fish, bevel like a fish. You know how a fish moves? That's how the body has to move. So he put this thing on his head, this big metal thing on his head, and his head had to move. He couldn't keep his head straight. I know we're out of time, but it's very fascinating work. I love it.
Yeah, seriously. This again, I thought it was a type of massage. Had no idea that this is about energy.
You can do it with massage. You can do it with massage, but it's not massage.
Okay, so maybe that's what I heard, but yeah, I still thought it was massage. Hilton Head Island Spa.com. Is that right? Your website?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
People go not only in the area, Hilton Head Island, but also on vacation retreats, or they just seek out, what you offer. Amazing. Thank you for today and kind of breaking this all down. Things that, maybe we've heard of, we're not really sure of. I appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving too.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. You too.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.